To weigh in on the corporate greed versus employee pay debate that's going on. And yeah, I think there is a lot of corporate greed out there for companies and businesses that make millions or even billions of dollars in profit. I'm not talking about revenue, I'm talking about raw profit. After all expenses are paid, they're making millions and billions of dollars, but yet they pay their employees like 100 grand or less each. That seems a little absurd to me. But at the same time, I don't think raising wages is the answer, because companies never absorb the extra expense. It never comes out of their money. They always pass it along to the consumer by raising the prices of the goods or services. Or you pay the same amount of money, but you get less product, shrinkflation. So yeah, you might feel like you got a raise in wages, but now you're paying more for everything that you're buying. So you're really not getting a raise. And the same thing goes for if you tax the companies more. If you make them actually pay taxes, they're not going to absorb the cost. They're going to pass it on to the consumer by raising the price of the products and services that we buy. So yeah, they're paying more in taxes, but we're paying more for everything that we buy every day. And what makes it even worse is if they don't like how much they have to pay for wages or how much they have to pay for taxes in a certain country, they can just go to another country and do business over there and get cheap labor, get cheap taxes, and then ship their products over to the United States. So really, there's no way to stop the corporate greed the way the world functions right now. Like the way the world works with multiple different countries and multiple different governments, that used to work back in the days when companies were just local to the area. But now that companies have evolved and you got these corporations that can do business in multiple countries all over the world, I hate to say this, because I can't even believe I'm about to say this, because this is like some biblical end time stuff. But having a world with multiple countries and multiple governments doesn't work anymore. Like the only way you could stop the corporate greed is to have a world that's governed by one government. Because then you could raise the wages, you could tax the businesses, and you could force them to not pass the extra expenses on